Good day, goeiedag, fellow South Africans, from a warmish Brisbane. Now, first things I need to talk about is that intro which I've got, which you can see is Loving Life 2019. Please take this in mind that is the name of the supplementary channel. So if something did happen to this channel, and you haven't joined Loving Life 2019, the work I'm working on will continue in the channel, which is Loving Space Life Space 2019. Okay, and you can search on YouTube for it and you'll find it very easily. All right, now having got that out of the way, I put a video up the other day about the racism going on in the health department in Zulu Natal when it came to the appointment of registrars in that state, and the problem they were having getting the number of Africans to fill the 100 positions that they had exclusively given to Africans. And there's now a follow-up to that article, and I want to make a comment once we're finished here about this. Actually, I might make this comment now, and that is that, it's perhaps not a bad idea that they just fill these positions with Africans. And I'll tell you why. Most of the white specialists, medical specialists in South Africa are leaving. And that's a fact, because they can afford to and because they've got skills, so they're leaving. They're not going to put their families in jeopardy. So when you consider that fact, you can understand why it's probably a sensible thing to just have Africans being appointed registrars, even though the level of healthcare is going to fall appallingly as a result of that. I'd like to hear what your comments are related to that. But anyway, look, I'll just read to you what is happening in KwaZulu Natal. The KwaZulu Natal Health Department, which sought to fill its 2019 registrar program with only black candidates, has deviated from its position after difficulties were experienced in recruiting black African candidates. The KwaZulu-Natal Health Department expanded its registrar program in 2019 from 314 to 414, but aimed to fill the 100 new posts with only black candidates. Some call this discriminatory, unconstitutional, and racist, but the Provincial Health Department said it was unapologetic about addressing these imbalances of the past. South Africa, including KwaZulu-Natal, remains an unequal society with limited opportunities for self-development for those who were historically oppressed, departmental spokesman Nkumisa Mafunda said. According to leaked departmental communications, the department wanted to train 366 blacks, 32 Indians, and just 12 whites, and 4 coloured registrars, just 12, against 366 black registrars. You can see where this is going. So they wanted to do that to meet employment equity targets. The registrar program trains doctors to become specialists over 4 years. This means 238 posts must be filled with Africans to take the current 128 full posts to the target of 366. This implies that the 100 new posts must go to Africans in terms of the targets. Or else there is no suitable Africans, the posts must be re-advertised. Registrar Steering Committee Chairperson Bongani Shezi signed off on the targets on September 17, 2018, and alternate Registrar Steering Committee Chairperson Dr. Tandika Kanyili on September the 3rd, 2018. The leaked communication said the Provincial Health Department may deviate from targets with the necessary approval if it could not find a candidate, but this is not recommended from the department. Mafunda confirmed the internal communication. The Provincial Health Department said on its website that doctors had to leave registrar positions after 4 years, irrespective if they have completed their examinations or not. Now, isn't that interesting? You wonder how many half-qualified registrars or specialists are going to be in KwaZulu hospitals in 4 years' time. Anyway, let's continue. This is to ensure that the new group of registrars can be appointed so that the potential pool of specialists grows. South African Medical Association SAMA KwaZulu Natal chairperson, Dr. Zahili Bikitsa, said they were pro-transformation if it did not compromise service delivery. A post can't be kept simply because there are no Africans, because that will affect service delivery, Bikitsa said. Well, that's common sense. It's not just simply about filling the numbers. You need to identify what is the problem. What is the cause of African scholars not succeeding through colleges? You need to look at what is happening in terms of the college itself. Now, that's a very interesting comment. You know, there are a lot more whites gaining a GP or doctor certificates, you know, the degrees, than there are Africans, even today, with a tiny European population. And I have my own views as to why that's happening, but I will keep those to myself. Bikitsa said there were insufficient graduates to meet equity requirements, and the ideal would be sufficient government funding to train all applicants. If the DOH, National Health Department, had more funding, we would be able to get more posts. Bikitsa was concerned about the number of registrar posts for specialists in oncology, urology, and nuclear medicine. These are crisis areas. Those are departments that are supposed to be resuscitated. So you need to be worried, why are the recruitment numbers so low on that side? Medical rights advocate network Miran member Mary De Haas said in her personal capacity that historical redress was necessary, but the approach was discriminatory and unconstitutional. I think it is a very bad way of doing it, she said. De Haas blamed the DOH's mistakes for the 2019 targets. She said if DOH spent more money sending students to Cuba instead of building local capacity, which would have sorted out this mess years ago. She said the department should choose above-average students at postgraduate level. It's not really fair to sideline people who have done extremely well. Well, that's pretty obvious. De Haas believes spending more on training and headhunting the best medical personnel to head up new medical schools was the solution. If you're training more registrars, you would be able to train more black registrars without discriminating against your other worthy ones. And Democratic Alliance KwaZulu Natal health spokesman Dr. Imran Kika said a policy which caused the domination of one race over the other by exclusion, nothing more than an aberration of our constitutional values and is racist. Any form or attempt to redress the injustices of the past must ensure that we remain committed to what our Constitution says, he said. There must be no exclusion, especially based on the colour of our skin. Kika said the DA would consider suing the Provincial Health Department if it deviated from these rights. Mafunda said historical redress was a government imperative and the morality of and socially right thing to do. And he continued by saying, after difficulties were expected in recruiting black African candidates for these posts, a deviation was sought from the accounting officer, and out of a total of 77 registrar posts, 21 will be offered to non-black Africans. Well, that's a compromise, but, you know, as I said in my opening comment, you know, I can, in some ways I can understand why you would want to take in black registrars, because I do believe, well, I do know that there are a huge number of medical specialists leaving South Africa, and I'm talking about European medical specialists. So that there is a quandary here for the government, but, you know, take on board all the different points of view, and please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. Bye for now.